onto the mat. Everybody's ready? Let's do it. So here we go. In tiptoes and heels. So these trousers are rather long. They're nice though. So let's go tiptoes and heels. Tiptoes and heels. So we're getting into a nice steady rhythm. Tiptoes and heels. Tiptoes and heels. And just allowing ourselves to roll through it, getting into a nice rhythm. Just feeling how that feels as the feet start to ache, as the calves and shins start to work out. And then switching your awareness to the floor to feel the feet rolling over the floor. See if you can keep your awareness on that just for a moment longer than usual. My mind switches back almost straight away, and then let's just bring that to stillness and just notice the feet sinking. Feeling that root. Take a breath. Send it down through the legs. Water those roots as if they could grow really deep into the earth and anchor themselves around a big rock. So you feel really solidly connected to the earth. And then the hands. So starting with a little bit of a massage, just giving yourself a massage from the heel of the hand through to the thumb. Just going to adjust this, it's a little bit too low. And doing the other hand as well. It's better. Massaging the reflex point, pinching of the fingertips, not always needing it to be so strong, but some days you do, or just nice soft touch. As well, that can also be quite nice. This as if somebody else was kind of caressing your hand. Just think about how that feels like when somebody does that, and how it really wakes up your hands. And then bringing the hands by your sides and just feeling that wake up feeling now. Take a breath. And as you breathe out both hands and feet, in your awareness. And then we're going to do the mouth. A little bit of a faster way than usual. So we're going to bring the fingers here and slide across. Find those 2 points that are roughly level, but then we're going to swap and bring the thumbs there. And the fingers are going to go into the cheekbone point. And then we're going to push all 4 at the same time. So these fingers are pushing up into the cheekbone. These fingers are pushing into those points below the jaw. And you can feel all 4 at once. And then we're going to slide along to the next set of points here. Find the thumbs again. The first fingers are going to go to the end of the cheekbone points, the one that are above that muscle there. And we're going to again press all 4 at once. The thumbs are then going to go into the muscle itself between the upper and lower jaw, the one that we push backwards that way. And the first fingers are going to press down here on this part of the mouth. And again, we've got 3 points here. And so by doubling up, we've managed to do that point in the jaw quite quickly, and it just feels so nice, really letting that jaw go. You might want to add a bit of soothing. It is quite strong, that. So just stroking from one to the other, from one to the other, and then across and flick, across and flick. And just feeling, that whole jaw go. And let's bring it all together. So feet, hands, and face all at the same time. Take that moment, take a breath. Feet, hands, and face like a big circle that you're drawing around your body of protection and calmness and security and safety. There it is. Let's bring the hands into position, ready for our sun salutation. So nice and gentle, this first stretch, breathing in, opening the chest. And then as you breathe out, sliding the hands down. Nice and gently, take your time. Tuck the chin in. Letting go. Remember, this first one is all about just trying to relax a few things that are a bit tense, maybe. Breathing in, we look up, we flatten the back.
And now we get a bit better stretch as we come down with a breastbone. First, it's increased a little bit, but we're ready for it now. And then again, try and relax whatever new thing you're stretching. When you're ready, you're going to take a step back with one leg. And we're leaning forward, leaning in. Push the floor away from you. Feel that leg stretch itself out, so you're leaving it behind. Once you've got that sense of stretch in the groin, that sense of the whole leg being left behind, use your core as you push up, pick up, breathe in and reach up. And then bring in the hands to the ground. And again, push the floor away from you and get that sense, that deeper sense of release. Relax the legs, relax the toes. Bring in this front foot back, plank pose. Holding that plank, picking up your marble, remembering to breathe and meet that pickup with the diaphragm. Nice and strong. And when you get hot or the heart rate goes up, then we're going to come down. Palm upon palm, drop the head on the floor, relax the jaw, feel the feet, hands and face, and then we're going to start with the bottom one. Getting into a nice steady rhythm. Of course, the mind will want to wander off. That's why we've got the rhythm and the song and the rhyme. Something that the mind can stay hooked into as you rock. And you're waiting for there to be a response from the body, a sigh, a yawn, a flush, anything that indicates a change. You're going to bring it to stillness and just notice how the body feels as you let go. And bring the hands around, tuck the elbows in. And breathing in, squeezing the adrenal glands. Just feel that big squeeze in the lower back. Pushing up and back. And we stretch the adrenal glands here. We're also opening out the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the upper back, the lower back, all the way to the tail. If you feel tension in that upper back area, use your hands and gently create a ribcage rock and release the diaphragm a little bit more. As soon as there's a response, which will be quite quickly because you're stretching, you're just going to allow yourself to relax back, continuing with that stretch. And bring the hands a little bit closer in. Pulling with the hands, connect the tail to the hands, S shape. Push with the hands, connect the tail to the hands, C shape. Pull, S shape. Push, C shape. Pull, S shape. Push, C shape. Once you've got a bit of fluidity, so you're waiting for the spine to feel like it's flowing like a wave from the tail to the head. That's when you know you've done the job here, at least for now. And then we're going to tuck the toes under and come up to downward dog. Reaching with the hands, letting go of the heels. Trying to even. So if you think of this as a pyramid, the line across the floor from hand to foot. One line up your legs to your bottom and another line from your hands up your body to your bottom, and try to even out the sides of the pyramid. So that means the two sides of the pyramid, equal strength and effort. You're not pushing too hard with one or too hard with the other. And there's a semblance of reaching and relaxation through the arms, so orangutan arms, and a sense of relaxing and lifting the core with the legs. course, the idea is to get comfortable enough that you can stay here for longer periods. All right, when you're ready, you're going to look up and we're going to bring whatever leg went back first forward. Leaning in. Push the floor away from you. Feeling that stretch begin to happen. Once it's there, you can come up. Stretching the underarms here as you breathe in. And then bring in the hands back down. Again, for that second stretch, push the floor away from you. Really feel the legs relax into it. Bringing this back foot forward, coming into a forward fold. Grabbing hold of the elbows here and just giving a little bit of a rock. Letting go of the upper back, letting go of the neck, just gentle rocking. And then go of the arms and the head and the neck when you stop, and just feeling that dangliness. It requires the core to be active, so remember to pick up your core. And then we're going to breathe in and we're going to look up. We're coming down again, breastbone first. This is going to again allow us to really let go of the head, neck and shoulders, engage your core. And then we're slowly uncurling. Pushing through the feet. Feeling that stability, again those roots, and then reaching out from those roots, breathing in, opening up the chest. Bringing the palms together, drawing this line down the center of the body. Feeling how the thumbs land on the line. We've got the thymus gland here. You can give it a little bit of a wake-up call, remember, by massaging it. So we've got one spot on the central line. We've got the core at the bottom of the central line. Join those two dots and you're very clear where the central line is. Feel the hands either side of the line, thumbs on the line, the jaw relaxing into the line. So feet, hands and face all at once. The center line and the breath and nothing else. Let everything else just drift away. Well done. Okay, so we are going to get these glands in motion. So we want to massage our glands here in the ankles using thumb and first fingers and milking up from the heel up towards the calf as much as we can. So in order to relax, we still need to do everything that we did last week. So taking care of the cortisol and the adrenaline, obviously the first step here. So here I'm just squeezing and stretching this gland that I've just massaged to doubly check it's definitely as empty as I can get it. And then I'm going to take a step forward with one foot. And if you need balance support, hold on to a chair, but we're going to step right back with this back foot. Keep the heel off the ground for now. And then I'm going to bend forward with this knee and then try and straighten this back knee. And it'll go right back to where we've just stretched and into the calf muscle. It's just the stretch we need for the circulation to take that cortisol away. And then swap sides, so take a step forward. Quite a big step back, it works better than big step back. Bend the knee at the front and then drop the heel at the back. And again, feel that stretch. All right, so there's the lower legs and heels. You can probably feel, even as you're rubbing your back, that area is feeling nice and warm and ready to go. So we're just rubbing here, the back. Giving those a dream. You can even massage, especially if you've had quite a stressful week. I would give it a little bit of a massage.
And then have the hands over that whole area. Just feel that hot water bottle and connect this sense of release in the back of the adrenals to the heels. Lovely. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a thigh stretch. So you could just be standing with the knee pointing down. You might be holding on to a chair or a wall. You can bring the arm up if you want to for a bit of counterbalance. If you need a bit more stretch than that, remember you can pull the leg up and back behind you. Of course, you need your core here, that big toe, that arch working. Because you don't have to balance at all. What we really want is a stretch in the thigh. So, you could hold on to something and forget all about the balance if you wanted to. So again, the other side, just getting into this thigh, using the arm as a counterbalance. Feeling that core, working away. Lovely. And just from that, you can start to feel that sense of those legs getting heavier and heavier, which is what we're after. So a little bit of upside down will help with the adrenal. So let's bring the legs out into a triangle pose. About the length of one of the length of your legs. You can always adjust as you go down. You can bring the hands to wherever you can reach, onto a block, onto a chair, onto the floor. And then we're just going to try and stretch out again the back of the body. So just relax the head, the jaw, the shoulders. This part of the body is not doing very much of anything. It's helping you to stretch. Don't forget the core. So push through a little bit, through the big toe, the arch. If you're feeling unstable, it's because the core isn't active. And feel the back of the leg stretch there. See how much you can let go of the upper body. It gently pulls on the lower body and you gently let go. So it's not always so easy to let go. Walk the hands forwards and heel toe your feet in, or just walk them in. And we're back in downward dog. At this point, we can do one leg at a time. So bend one knee, stretch the leg all the way up. From the heel, you should feel it all the way up to the hip. Once that leg is relaxed fully into that stretch, which can take a while, at least let it relax a little bit, and then you can swap to the other side. Drop onto the knees, bring the head down onto the floor and just have a little moment here. We've been upside down for a while there, so hopefully we've done that flushing out job that we were after. Then we're going to just give those little psoas muscles just a little bit more of a stretch. So you've got options here. You can be either in the cobbler pose. If you find it difficult to let go of the legs, then cobbler pose is recommended. So you're going to do lift and drop, lift and drop, lift and drop, lift and drop. And then forward bend, and then remember that dropping feeling. If you find it fairly easy to let go, the harder version of this, obviously here with the legs out. Now we've got much more because we've got the hamstrings to think about as well. So there's all sorts going on here. So just letting go. It's all about letting go. Either way, you're trying to get to that psoas muscle. And that means letting go of the legs. The more you let go, the more that muscle can stretch. If you think about last week's session when we were doing that fluttering butterfly feeling, that uncontrollable lying down thing where the legs just do what they want. That's kind of like the feeling that you want. Or I also mentioned the marionette, like remember those old-fashioned marionettes that had a wooden body and they had like little hooks and the legs would dangle from the hooks, and it's like, yeah, that's what you want, dangly legs. Okay, that's another way of thinking of it. All right, so after that, I'm hoping that that's enough. So when you stretch your legs out in front of you, it's like, oh yeah, I can feel that letting go, that the legs feel heavy. I've done the job, I've got a sack of potatoes. Don't forget, engage your core, otherwise you're going to feel like you're falling backwards. And that means that we can move on to do our Moro. So as I said in the email, we can't do the vagus nerve without the diaphragm being happy. In fact, both of these have to be, both these reflex, both the FPR and the Moro have to be well integrated before the vagus nerve turns on. That's why so many people's vagus nerves are not properly turned on. So we're going to get into a rhythm here with the spleen rock. I've got my right hand on my left rib, which is roughly where the spleen is, and I'm creating this nice gentle rock, tuning into a rhythm. Perhaps closing my eyes and taking my attention inward and feeling how that diaphragm is suspended between the ribs there at the bottom of the ribs is being gently rocked from side to side. Sometimes visualizing it really helps. So you're going to get a deep breath or a feeling of warmth or something that's going to tell you you've done enough. Listen to that and bring your hands and feel what's beneath them. Feel that warmth. And the warmth is one of the major things that integrates the Moro. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we're going to go in strong today because I want just the diaphragm to be done really. We're going to bring the fingertips to the bottom of the rib cage here and find the last rib. Okay, so then we're going to breathe in and look up. And as you breathe out, we're going to fold forwards and we're going to let the fingertips slide underneath the rib cage and massage it a little bit. Breathe all the way out. When you're ready to breathe in, you come up. You bring the fingers a little bit closer into the next bit of diaphragm. You look up. And as you breathe out again, you fold forward. And again, breathe all the way out. Coming up when you're ready. Fingertips right at the top here, hopefully. We've come together. Go underneath the sternum. Don't press into the sternum. Breathe all the way out. And then coming up. And again, covering the diaphragm area, just massage and just seeing how that feels as that diaphragm really begins to let go. Much warmer. That's a different feeling. And if it's not warm enough, obviously you can repeat that, don't forget. Especially if you're watching the recording, you can just press pause and do it all over again. All right, let's get this little bit of motion in. Rolling the shoulders one way, rolling the other way. And hopefully by now, after all this time, you know, the diaphragm is beginning to go, oh yeah, I know what you want. And I've got this honey feeling, this sense of real warmth spreading down into my belly. Okay, so let's see if we can get this. We'll do various things, by the way, to switch on the vagus nerve. I'm going to show you the first two easiest ones to do. It starts like this, with the elbows level with your shoulders. We breathe in and we pull the elbows back, looking up and back. As you breathe out, elbows come and try and touch. Doesn't matter if they can't, you're just squeezing. Chin in. Breathing in. And stretch back again. Breathing out, the elbows come and try and touch each other. Not the hands, the elbows. Breathing in, the elbows move backwards. Breathing out. Yeah, so everything is led by the elbows, yeah? Elbows coming closer. Opening And you're just going to stop. Something's going to start to ache. It's probably going to be your shoulders or your neck or something. Try not to push too hard with your jaw. But when you feel that fatiguey feeling come over you, and let the arms go. Again, we've got orangutan arms here. Let them dangle, take a breath. And you might just start to feel that beginnings of the vagus nerve turning on. It depends how toned it is. So toned vagus nerve means it turns on easily. The second exercise we're going to do, and this one we're going to use all the way through the rest of the yoga class, is a breath-based one. So again, it doesn't matter what sitting position you're in for this one. Just relax into a sitting position for a moment and then just take a normal breath in. And as you breathe out, try and let the out breath be a bit longer than the in breath. Breathing in, natural breath, and breathing out slightly longer. Now, if you're a person who likes to count, you could count how many seconds it takes you to breathe in. And as you breathe out, how many seconds, and then add 1 or 2, just to make it that bit longer. Keep going. And what you might find after 3 or 4 breaths, if it's a little bit unturned, it might take 5 or 6, but you start to feel this new sensation come into the body. So identify, what is this new feeling? And this is the vagus nerve switching itself on. Okay. Now don't worry if you haven't felt it yet, because we are going to do more and more in order to get it there. Okay, so nice, easy first exercise is to interlace your fingers here at the back of the body. Turn the palms to face up, roll the shoulders up and back. And so now we're stretching this chest area here, okay? Now looking up, it helps a little bit to look up because we get this other vertical stretch here. And now we're going to breathe in. Feel the stretch there, and as you breathe out again, lengthen that out breath. Now obviously this is going to be a slightly shorter breath. Nice and easy, this one. Obviously, if you were trying to do this in public, let's say you've got all stressed out and you want to calm yourself down, if you had the hands here pulling open the rib cage, yeah? And again, you could look up or not, as I guess if you're on a train, you probably wouldn't want to, but you do the same thing. You pull and you breathe and you make that out breath just slightly longer. Now, when you're stretching, 3 to 4 breaths is more than enough. Lovely. Another way of doing this, and you could do it in any yoga class that you're attending or teaching, you have the hands behind you, and you're doing one of these type stretches where you're rolling the shoulders back. You need to, if you have the shoulders forward, you don't get the stretch. So roll the shoulders back, look up and back, and again. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Just slightly longer. Yeah, and I'm going to drop the breastbone down and roll the head up. Don't lift with your head. So you can sort of feel like, oh, if you pause for a moment, it's like, oh, this whole area is alive and awake. And I've got this new sensation, and part of me is thinking, can I lie down yet? And that's a sure sign that the vagus nerve has switched itself. Okay, let's try it in a twist. So we're going to bring one hand to the knee, one behind. Let go of your legs, feel the twist come up through the body. Now, if you're going towards the left, vagus nerve is predominantly on the left side of the body. You want this shoulder, this left shoulder, to be pulling behind you, so you're stretching out that area. And again, relax your legs, engage your core, feel the diaphragm come and meet that pickup. And as you breathe out and open out, looking over the shoulder, feeling that stretch. And it feels like that hand is still on your breastbone, still pulling you in. You'll notice the difference as you come around to the other side and you swap sides. You'll see that this shoulder feels different. As you pull it round, it doesn't have the same effect. Let the legs, and that's because there's no vagus nerve on this side. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out again, still a nice stretch though, just feels different. And again, you can use that same breath if you want. Let's do a sideward bend so that we get that out of the way and that we are nicely evenly stretched out in all directions. So I'm just going to do this one, which I'm liking it a lot at the moment, where the leg is out to the side, the knee is bent, and this hand is sliding fairly far away from the body, because eventually I'm going to want to get that elbow down onto the ground. As I bring the arm over, I'm just going to check, am I really letting go here? You know, is this, you know, and you might have to put your hand here and remind that leg that it's letting go. And then I'm going to bend the elbow and see how far I get. If you do manage to get the elbow on the floor, remember to let it go of the head again, look up and over. And as you breathe in quite naturally, you've got the leg letting go and that stretch in the side of the body. Not much vagus nerve going on here, however, it's a good stretch to do for the diaphragm. So let's swap the other side. Leg out to the side, stretching out. Double check, is this leg letting go? Like this side for me is much more likely to come with me, so I'm going to use my hand and just remind it, yeah, you're supposed to be going in that direction. Keep going in that direction as I drop the elbow and bring the arm over. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Slight reach, looking up at the ceiling helps the neck, relax the jaw. As you breathe out, engage the core and feel that leg let go even more. Feel that leg let go even more. And we're going to reach up and over. Okay. All right, it's time to do a bit of circling. We've done quite a lot of stretching and no circling yet. So just feel, oh, that pencil drawing that line on the floor in one direction and then in the other direction. And then start to bring in the rib cage. So make sure that you can have a hula hoop. Use your hands as a pretend hula hoop and make sure that this area is moving around. Change direction. And then you might want to let the head go as well at the end and just see, oh, can my greasy flagpole let my head go and the head roll around. Just change direction when you feel it's right for you. And then when you're ready, you think you've done enough, just line up all those hoops. Sit for a moment, just let the legs go, relax your jaw, feel into your feet, hands and face. Take a breath in, making that slightly longer out breath. And by now, we're hoping that that vagus nerve is very much switched on, so you keep signaling to it to turn itself on with each longer out breath. Lovely.
So there are things that you can do for the vagus nerve in the finishing sequence as well. We're going to spend a little bit of time doing this. We've got some rocks to come as well, which are vagus nerve stimulating. So we've got the soles of the feet on the floor. And one of the first stretches is this one with bringing the arms up and over. So I noticed, for example, that frozen shoulder and the tension that that causes is for a lot of people, or generally on the left side, which is where that vagus nerve is. So that shows a contraction of that vagus nerve a little bit. The muscles around it, pulling it around. So being able to relax the arms whilst they're up and over. And if you need a cushion to put your arm on so that it can relax, it's a really good idea. And over time you'll find that it can. Now, one of the things that impedes this area able to relax is, of course, the diaphragm. So as we know, we're going to come up to halfway up, tuck the chin in, and we can give this area a bit of a rock. So using your buttocks, feel the buttocks rock side to side, which will rock the diaphragm side to side. And you're just going to keep that rock going until you feel the diaphragm release. Now, for those of you that are not feeling any stretch at all in the arms in this position, you could be reaching with the heels of the hands, and that will increase the stretch for you. Rock, rock, rock. Wait for the diaphragm to do its job. And you might want to sort of go up a bit and make sure that you're rocking all of the bits that need it. Go down a bit. Oh, look, see a bit further down. It's a bit more tense. Going to give that a little bit more of a go. Now, when the rocking is done, we're going to do miniature S to C's, up and down. Just this area of the body where the diaphragm is above and below it. Up and down, up and down. And again, we're doing it until it feels fluid. Remember, whenever we do S to C, it's all about fluidity. It stops being so cranky and it starts being fluid. And once it's fluid, again, keep that halfway up. We're going to twist. So drop the butt at one side and then the other. One side and then the other. And again, you might go up and down a little bit just to make sure that you're doing it in the right place. And sometimes, you can be quite low down and still be doing it. And again, and you can make that into a rock by just going a little bit faster if you feel comfortable doing. Oh, now by this point, when you put the pelvis down, you need to rest. Your legs need to rest for sure. Now, when you relax the arms, they feel a bit different. It's like, oh, something is released, and that will be the diaphragm. So we're going to give this Moro, this stretch a little bit more. So interlace the fingers, point the palms away from you, and reach as far back. It's as if somebody's grabbed hold of your wrists. And again, you might feel a difference between left and right. Feel that stretch. And now we're going to push all the way up. So keep stretching. Use the feet, remember, and engage the core, not the lower back, and gently curl up. And you might feel all sorts of things on your way up. Trying to release. Tuck the chin in. And once you're up, you can relax the arms again for a little moment. And enjoy the bridge itself. It might feel quite different. Relax the shoulders, make sure that they're orangutan. You could rock the head from side to side a little if you feel a bit tense in the jaw and neck. And then when we come down, we're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to pull away again, and we're going to roll down. Now again, you might find an area of tension that you thought you dealt with earlier, and that's okay. You just give it another rock. You're just getting into it deeper this time. Rock, rock, rock your way down. Still stretching. And then placing the pelvis on the floor and releasing the arms. Let them relax there for a moment. They should feel quite a lot different. Have that moment to really feel the orangutan arms, to feel the hot plate supporting the arms completely. And then we're going to bring the hands to the rib cage in the exact position that you're in. Try not to shift your upper back. And we're going to give this rib cage a rock. So there still might be a bit of latent tension in the diaphragm, especially at the back of the body. You might be feeling it in the spine. A little pull, a little unpleasantness. And that's where the back of the diaphragm, which struggles much more to be released. We can release because we can reach the front, you see, we can massage it and all sorts, but the back is much harder to get to. We're giving it a little rock here. Trying to soothe it into submission. Of course, there's going to be a response when you get it. Bring it to stillness. You can release the arms out to the sides. We're going to be there next in a moment. And just feel the effects of that. Again, you could do this breath where you breathe in a natural breath. And as you breathe out slightly longer. And by now it's getting faster. Whereas before it might have taken 4 or 5 breaths to get your vagus nerve switched on. Now it's 1 or 2. Lovely. So we're going to tuck one foot in towards us. The right foot, tuck it as close into your buttocks as you can. The left foot is going to go on the right knee, and you're going to push that leg right over into our twist. Let the pelvis go all the way over as far as it will go, and bring the right hand onto that knee. This will also create a stretch in the left side of the body, in the left arm and shoulder, and of course right where that vagus nerve is. So relax your legs, engage your core. Let go of the shoulders, orangutan your arms. Breathe. And as you breathe out, if you want, you can extend that out breath. Now if you're stretching here and you can feel the diaphragm is still a bit tight, then use your hand and create a little rock. Rocking the legs will rock the rib cage. You'll get a response and you'll stretch again and perhaps again at that breath. And by now, perhaps even just one breath like that, you're getting that sense. So bring the left foot then close to you, the right foot on the knee, pushing that leg over, nice and slowly, hand on the knee. And again, there's a lovely stretch in the arm and chest here. Let go of the legs, engage your core. And if you need to rock, gentle rocking. Nice long out breaths. We'll bring ourselves back to the front. And again, after that, we're going to rock this ribcage. Again, it might only last 10 seconds or so, but we're just double checking here, making sure that this diaphragm isn't tensing up in any of our stretches. We need to keep it relaxed. There we go. Only took a few seconds there. Again, hands on in position to feel the warmth. And then we're going to sit on our hands for our fish pose. So as we sit on our hands and we bring the elbows in, when we push up and back here, don't lift the head off the ground, not yet, at least if you're used to doing that, because we're going to try and rock the rib cage, in position, and for that it's much easier with the head on the floor. So again, we're just rocking here, making sure that we're ready, and then if you want to stretch stronger and you do come up and back, breathe in, feel the length of the spine, and as you breathe out, elongate that out breath just a little. Engage your core. And you drop down, release the head, release the arms. By all means, spend a moment feeling that, be quite strong today. When the vagus nerve switch on, it's really obvious. It's almost instantly wanting to start relaxation. We're almost there, but there's still a couple of things I want to do. So another little rock here. Again, waiting for that response. Oh, there it comes. Keeping the hands nice and warm. Lovely. So I just want to sort of talk about the rocks that are the most vagus nerve inducing. Obviously this one that we've been doing here with the hands on the ribs. And if you find that difficult, remember you can swap it for the spleen rock. So that's where you have the right hand on the left and you rock it almost the same way. And you can do it sitting, standing, or lying down, which just happen to be doing it. Okay, so that's a really good one. This one with the knee bend rock, although it's an FPR move, so if you just notice here, having done all of that nice Moro work, it won't be so obvious, but sometimes when you first start doing the knee bend rock, the breastbone doesn't actually move that well because the diaphragm's in tight, but this one helps the diaphragm to loosen, so after a while you start to get that feeling of the breastbone moving, the arms are orangutaned and soft by your sides. And when the arms and shoulders all start to join into this movement, we are starting to relax the muscles around the vagus nerve enough that it's probably going to switch itself on, which is why this one is so good. It's the one that I recommend you teach everybody you know. There's no much harm can come in doing it either. You just got to make sure that you tell them not to do it for more than 2 minutes. And it's de-stressing and it's Moro, diaphragm relaxing, and it just does everything because your head is also bobbing up and down, so you've got a lot of the neck and shoulder stuff happening too. And then we're just going to let the legs go after that when you get your response. And notice how we're digging even deeper into this relaxation. So the other rock that's really, really good for the vagus nerve is the side rock. So now this is a pure Moro rock, this one. You've got your knees up, your hand out. And because we're using, and most people tend to lie on their right side and use the left arm. So this lovely rock here usually when you begin, you can only do it for so long because the arm aches. And remember, the pull and push is up and down, not side to side. So just double check that your push isn't coming from the little finger to the thumb angle. It's coming from the heel of the hand to the fingertips angle.
If you just allow it to come to stillness when the body feels ready, the body's going to feel so heavy and relaxed, and it's slightly different feeling. That different feeling, again, we're beginning to recognize is much more vagus nerve. And then we're just going to roll over. I'm going to turn around so you can see, but you don't need to. You're just going to roll over and do it on the other side. So now the left arm is on the floor, the right arm is doing all the work, and we're gently rocking right in that vagus nerve. In fact, the whole of the vagus nerve, right from where it comes down from the ear on the left side into the heart, into the diaphragm, into the belly, right down to the utero, to the rectum, all that side on the left there. It wanders into the right side a little bit, but mainly it's on the left. It's all getting nicely rocked here. So if you're doing vagus nerve work, just make sure that you do both sides of this rock. Harder though it might be. And again, just going to stop where the arms tell you to. You're just going to notice the difference there. Get more and more familiar what vagus nerve feels like rolling onto your back and relaxing. Now, really important to note that not just for Moro purposes, but for vagus nerve purposes, being warm when you relax is really crucial. The body's just not going to let go until you feel warm enough. So make sure, especially at the moment it's getting colder, that you've got proper cover over you. And then we're just going to start the relaxation with this breath. Just 3 breaths, that's all, where you breathe in, natural in breath, and you can count it if you wish or not, and slightly longer out breath. Breathing in, and slightly longer out breath. And again, you can feel how the breath really stimulates the body into that extra relaxed mode with the vagus nerve there nice and awake and alive. And immediately starting to feel the weight of your body, the weight of your head, your shoulders, your arms, the rib cage on the floor and the upper back, the pelvis on the floor and your lower back, the weight of your legs, your feet, the whole of the back of the body, with that slightly longer out breath, sinking into the earth. And then just searching through the body, is there any area that doesn't feel soft just yet? So check your toes, your feet, your ankles, the calves, the shins. Check the thighs, muscles around the belly, the pelvis, the back muscles, the shoulder muscles, the chest, the upper arms, the lower arms, the hands. Check the muscles around your neck and jaw, the face, expressionless, crown and nape. It feels as if every muscle is soft. Now, there might be a couple of areas that do feel a bit tight. What you can do sometimes is just imagine giving them a stretch. And when you ask yourself your question, I want to stretch this area and I'm not quite sure how to, usually a yoga pose just appears in your mind, just go with that. Or go with a rock
What rock would let this go? And as you breathe in, you notice this soft and softening body. So easy today to get here because the vagus nerve is switched on. The whole body feeling soft as you breathe in. And breathing out, feeling the weight of the legs, the arms, and the jaw. Remember, we spoke about how these 4 or 5 areas release all at once. Both limbs, both arms, and the jaw and neck. Breathing in. Have a sense of that core at the front of the body. It's there working away, you don't need to do anything. And as you breathe out, all 4 limbs, jaw and neck, releasing into the floor. And that out breath slightly longer, so feeling the in breath and the out breath slightly longer. Sinking into the breath. Again, after a few breaths, you really start to drift off. Just let the breath go. And just start to notice the weight of your body and its softness at the same time. Simultaneously aware of the softness throughout the body. Whole body relaxed. And the weight and the letting go into the earth. The earth coming up to meet you, holding you up. And just starting to see if you can feel these 2 sensations at the same time. And as always, you're more than welcome to stay and relax here for as long as you are able to. Take advantage of the time that you have. And I'll see you again next week. Goodbye, everyone.